What is up, my friends? It is John Smoltz Day here on Flippin' Bats, where every single week the Hall of Famer from the Atlanta Braves joins us to talk things happening around the league. And one of the big things happening is that yesterday, Thursday, Kyle Schwarber became the 21st player in MLB history to hit 4 home runs in a game. I don't know this for a fact, but I would venture to say almost with 100% certainty that he is the only player to do that coming out of an 0 for 20 slump at the plate. Gonna ask John Smoltz about that, busting out of a slump the way he did, if he's ever seen anything like that. The Alec Bohm situation at Citi Field with the microphone out in center field and delaying the game almost 20 minutes to get that microphone removed. A big conversation. Tarik Skubal or Garrett Crochet for the American League Cy Young Award. That is a close race. I would say, a month ago it was Tarik Skubal's, and today I can sit here and say I don't know. So I'm going to ask the Hall of Famer what he thinks of the situation because he has a whole system in place to figure out who's going to win the Cy Young Award in a given year. So we'll dive into that as well as the NL MVP award. Is there someone pushing Shohei Ohtani for the National League MVP award, winning his third in a row, fourth in his career? We're going to dive into that as well. But this is a fun show. A lot of fun stuff to ask John here today. Flippin' Bats is presented by FanDuel. Bet baseball with us all season long on America's #1 sports book. John Smoltz joins us every single week. So make sure you like, subscribe, check us out on YouTube. I love hopping in the comments and responding to everyone on YouTube as you watch through the episode and have a conversation and continue the conversation from the episode. But without further ado, let's welcome him in now, John Smoltz. All right, and I am pumped to welcome in now the Hall of Famer, John Smoltz. John, how are we doing this week?
Doing great. Got home, getting ready to turn around and go to Cleveland for tomorrow's game.
Love that. Let's start with something that just happened in baseball. Kyle Schwarber busted out of an 0 for 20 stretch at the plate by becoming the 21st player in Major League Baseball history to hit 4 home runs in a game. Have you ever seen somebody bust out of a slump, either offensively or defensively pitching like Kyle Schwarber did Thursday?
I only other time was my teammate Will Harris was in such a slump. I think we talked about it. Giveaway bat, won a Rolex. Somebody, Andrew Jones said if anyone gets 5 hits, buy him a Rolex. And he went 5 for 5, or he might even have got 6 hits. It was crazy. I've never seen anything like it. Like you think of players how superstitious they are, and they try everything they can to navigate and get around the slump. Well, a giveaway bat, like seriously, and that worked for him. But to hit 4 home runs, look, I think Kyle Schwarber is one of the most. He's a documentary waiting to happen. One of the greatest hitters to come out of really Chicago, untouchable, injury, plays in the World Series, all the things he's been through. The All-Star game, I said it. I thought it was going to pull vault his second half. It certainly has. And now he's hitting homers at rates that just are ridiculous. So incredible. Kyle Schwarber is able to do that after an 0 for 20.
I do believe when we talked about it earlier this year, I do believe we looked into it and it was 6 hits. I think he went 6 for 6.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, it doesn't make sense. The thing in sports, mentally, you never know what it's going to take for someone to click. When they
Yeah.
feel the click of that ball and you hit a bomb as a hitter, it's like, there it is.
Yeah.
Even if you get a bloop, like, all right, I'm off the schneid, and then all these things. So I think for Philadelphia and Kyle Schwarber, I think he was meant to be a Philly. I just think
Yeah.
with what that city is and what they represent and how they love those guys that give everything, I think Kyle Schwarber and Philly makes all the sense in the world.
That's 4 home runs in a game, 21st in history to do it. If I were to ask you the most impressive feat that you have ever seen on a baseball field in a game, what would it be?
That's hard to top 4 home runs
Yeah,
because they're doing them off of multiple pitchers now. You can hit 3 home runs off
true.
of a starter pitching 20 years ago. I'm just gonna go with the craziness of the two no-hitters in Colorado. I think, wasn't it Hideo Nomo
Yeah.
had two no-hitters? To have one no-hitter in Colorado, to me, with that space in the field and the ability to hit, to me, that's still the greatest feat I can think of. When you as a pitcher know it's impossible to pitch in Colorado. It's even more impossible to not give up a bloop because the outfielders are 500 feet away,
Yeah.
and it's probably even harder to not give up a home run. So I'm going with that. I just think that's one of the most incredible things. To do it once, but then do it twice is just off the charts.
Did you like pitching there? I was at the All-Star game and I was asking a pitcher, I forget, it was either Freddie Peralta or maybe Edwin Diaz. I was asking everyone their favorite places to pitch. And one of them named Coors Field, and they said they loved the mound. They just liked pitching there. Did you like pitching there?
Oh no, 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 no. There's
That's what I
nothing
would assume.
about pitching there that you just know maybe he's talking about the run support. Maybe you can get a
Maybe.
lot of run support there, but I just know that there is not a formula that I can figure out. Now, Glavine has had success there, change ups, getting the ball on the ground,
Hmm.
but I'm telling you, it's a hitter's paradise. So I don't know any pitcher that would want to. Maybe Nomo. Maybe Nomo felt great, and found a way to limit the contact. But no, it was a struggle for me to pitch in Colorado. It was a challenge. Matter of fact, after about two bullpen sessions, I said, I'm never throwing a bullpen session here again. It's a waste of time because I couldn't spin the ball. The ball was slick. It is what it is, and everyone has to deal with it. But that's why for the longest time, offensive numbers and runs in that stadium were always at the premium high.
So if you were supposed to have your bullpen day in Colorado, but weren't going to pitch there that series, you just
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
throw your
pitch.
bullpen.
No, there was no value for me. You just get frustrated. And that's why you see the splits. That's why the hitters have the splits. It's not
Yeah.
their fault. It's just spin is different there.
Yeah.
And when you go on the road, all of a sudden it must look like a super ball bouncing all over the place because you're going to see spin you would never see at home.
Yeah. Sticking with the Phillies real quick, Alec Bohm earlier this week delayed the game almost 20 minutes at Citi Field in New York to get a microphone removed out in center field that has been there for like 8 or 9 years. What did you think when you saw that?
I didn't see it actually. Is the microphone? Uh, was it near the wall? Was it
So it was out in center field. It's been there for like, I think it's 8 years, but it's like one of those boom mics. So it is like that clearish, whitish color.
Hmm.
He stopped the game. It was almost a 20-minute delay, and they ended up removing two microphones. And the SNY broadcast and all the they ended up like people were dressing up as microphones the rest of the series. Like they were really letting him have it. Like this has been here for almost a decade. What are you doing here? I don't know. I don't know why then he's hit there obviously a million times. The Mets have really heated up since. I don't know if there's anything to it, but almost a 20-minute delay to get those microphones removed that have been there for about a decade.
Some things you just have to learn to letting go, right? Like that might be, who knows? You had the rally squirrel, the rally monkey, now it's going to be the rally
The
microphone
rally microphone.
for the Mets. Hey, players will use whatever they can. Sometimes it's just innocent, you're just like, hey, I can't see that things. And this may, ooh, this may work out in the wrong way for Alec Bohm and the Phillies.
Sometimes you're just going through it and you've been there a million times, you've seen it, but you're just going through it at the plate, and all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I'm done with it. Something's out there and it's pissing me off. Can you go get it? And maybe this was just the time that set him off.
Yeah, it's, I'm just thinking about how certain cities would probably not react the way this is the wrong city.
If this
This
was
is the
reverse and it was a Met doing it in Philly, or City Field really let him have it. I mean, it's been a thing for the rest of the series. People were legitimately bringing microphones, dressing up. The SNY broadcast was like putting up a microphone on the screen when he came up to hit. It's been wild.
that's epic, actually, and I'm sure both teams will find a way to have energy built around that.
John, Tarik Skubal or Garrett Crochet? Who is the American League Cy Young Award winner?
It's going to come. Literally, it's somebody is going to. I think Tarik is actually at a disadvantage because they have a huge lead.
Okay.
And I think there's going to be rest that when it's this close, statistically, you could have an advantage if you're Crochet pitching all the way to the end and getting your team into a postseason spot.
Hmm.
It's the optics of it. Tarik, I mean, you can't go wrong. You really can't. But I think if let's just say he misses the last start and a half, and it's because they can.
Yeah.
It could end up costing him a little bit. And I think at the end of the day, if he wins the World Series, you know, that wins out. But like for me in '96, we had it locked up and I still had a tighter race, believe it or not, with Kevin Brown because he was having an unbelievable season.
Hmm.
I had 7 more wins than he did, but it was because I had a better scenario around me. But
Hmm.
my last start was 5 innings, but I got a chance to get that 24th win um, because I had the lead after five. So I was going to reduce roll too. So it's going to come down to the end. There's no, to me, I haven't even, I'm going to dive into it in a couple of weeks and really put that Smoltz formula to play and see
There we go.
if it holds in there. But it's going to be fun to watch.
So you're telling me with these awards, if you're on a team that's totally out of it, you're at a disadvantage. And if you're on a team that has really run away with it and can coast to the finish line, you also might be at a disadvantage as someone that is through a playoff push and really needs to propel their team for a playoff. A lot has to go right if these awards are tight down to the end.
I agree. And it doesn't always come down to being this tight. Like it literally is,
Yeah.
I'd say Crochet has closed the gap big time. It
Yeah.
was Tarek's to win for a while. And I get it, wins are not a barometer gauge anymore. It should be a tiebreaker, maybe in the way people look at controllables. This is what you can control, this is what you can't control. I know one thing, if you're mastering and dominating majority of the pitching performances, then that's really, the telltale sign. And they both are close in all those. They're jockeying back and forth with strikeout leads and inning leads and all the different things. And so hopefully that won't be the case of what I said. That won't be a determining factor, but I'm telling you, it's that close that it could.
We're getting close to needing the Smoltz formula on this, John. Couple of weeks we're gonna dive in.
Oh, absolutely. I love it because when I did it about 6, 7, 8 years ago, I was just kind of killing time and I go, you know what, I want to see because I get all the analytical categories and I even use their own categories. But to me, I'm all about systems. Have a system. Don't let it just be totally objective. Your
Yeah.
objectivity can be if it's close. And what we just talked about can be an ultimate tiebreaker,
Yep.
right? But rank them, rank them evenly, and the lowest number is going to win.
Yeah.
So wherever you fit in your competitive, so I only take Cy Young candidates. I don't take the whole league. I'll do both. But if your league rank in 6 categories that we can agree on, and you add up your position in all 6, the lowest number should be the guy that comes out and wins the Cy Young, in my opinion, because you've been in more categories and dominated more categories. And obviously, that should be, they're going to be 1 and 2 in just about everything. It's going to
Yeah.
come down to I'll bet you it comes down to less than 3.
Man. If there was a Smoltz formula for most valuable player, is there anyone in the National League that is threatening Shohei Ohtani from winning his third straight MVP award and fourth in his career?
Not really.
No.
You could say Schwarber is definitely in the mix. There are guys that, Will Smith's having a really, really good year, but he's on the team with the greatest unicorn in the history of baseball. And look, we saw last year when he didn't pitch why he was the best player in
Yeah.
baseball. And when you add pitching and what he's doing and coming back, I mean, it really is almost a mockery of how great these guys are, but how much better he is than the rest. And you can't just separate, you can't just not put him in that category. I know people want to say, well, we've never seen anything like it. Is it going to be his reward to lose every year? It might be. I
Yeah.
mean, it just might be. I don't think. if his offense suffered significantly, let's say he went 20-5 one year and then was hitting 220 and only hit 20 home runs, I don't think the two of them together are going to equate an MVP. I think
Yep.
an offensive guy will trump that, and then he'll be winning a Cy Young.
Yeah.
But when he wins a Cy Young and an MVP, watch out. It's going to be a whole different category. So yes, I think that it's still a freakish athlete that's going to win another one.
John, always appreciate it, my friend. Long week of golf for you. Rest up, and we'll do it again next week.
Yeah, I'll get that formula for you.
Get that formula. We're going to dive in soon, all right?
You got it.
All right, just wanted to thank John for joining us here on the show. I totally agree. This American League Cy Young Award race is getting closer and closer. I think Tarik Skubal is the best pitcher in the game of baseball. He recently had an outing where he gave up a bunch of runs on the mound, but only one of them was earned. But I do think the field has narrowed a bit when it comes to that race, and I think it's neck and neck at this point. So it's going to be interesting down the stretch. And I always love when he tells that story about Willie Harris getting a giveaway bat from within the stadium and going 6 for 6 at the plate. It's honestly one of the craziest things I've ever heard on a baseball field. Insane. But thank you all for listening. As always, Smoltz had a busy week of golf, so it's a Friday episode with Smoltz this week. But thank you all. A fun weekend of baseball ahead. I really appreciate you all listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe wherever you subscribe to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever. But check us out on our YouTube channel. Flippin' Bats Pod is our YouTube channel. Subscribe there, like the video, comment. All of that really does help. It's greatly appreciated. And we'll continue the conversation in the comments there. We're on all social media as well. So appreciate John Smoltz for joining us. Appreciate you all for listening and watching. Enjoy the weekend. And we will be back Monday with another episode of Flippin' Bats. Until then, my friends, remember, find your bat and flip it. Peace.